evening and welcome to a program devoted entirely to Lefties Losing It. And wowee, haven't the left given us abundant content? The mass tantrum of the No Kings protest is just an embarrassment of riches for this program, I've got to say. It really is. So much 24-carat gold that I'm not sure how I'm going to fit it all in, but we're going to give it a red-hot go. It's going to be a big week. But let's start, lefties, with an old favourite, and old being the key word there. Here is Nancy Pelosi losing it.
Congresswoman Pelosi, are you at all concerned that the new January 6th committee will find you liable for that day? Are you at all concerned about the new January 6th committee finding you liable for that day? Why did you refuse the National Guard on January 6th?
Shut up. I did not refuse the National Guard. The president didn't send it. Why are you coming here with Republican talking points as if you're a serious journalist?
The American people want to know. We still have questions. Thank you.
Oh, I love that little smile there from reporter Alison Steinberg. It just shows just how pampered the Democrats are. They are so used to softball questions from the media that any heat has them melting down like that, shrieking "shut up" to a reporter's face. Now, Nancy Pelosi tried to encourage sad Democrats everywhere to take part in the No Kings protest, and she tried to do that by breaking a crown.
We're going to tear up the crown.
Did you notice the jump shot there? That is two clips stuck together because she obviously had some issues tearing that crown apart. Now let's have a look at some of these protesters. Here is a deranged drongo calling for ICE agents to be murdered. I mean, what is it with the left and violence?
You gotta grab a gun. We gotta turn around the guns on this fascist system. These ICE agents gotta get shot and wiped out.
Let's hear from this kind-hearted woman at the protest in DC. You know what? This is the ugly, ugly face of the modern left.
We need to get ourselves together, and we might even need to be a little bit meaner, because the Republicans don't mind being mean.
And by mean, what do you mean? Do you mean protesting? Do you mean...
Maybe we have to, I don't know, stop being so nice.
People on the other side are going to say that they feel like the Democrat Party has been mean. Recently, with Charlie Kirk being assassinated,
Kirk is a piece of garbage. Of course we were mean. I am so tired of people saying, oh, but, you know, it's a terrible thing. No, Hitler is dead. I'm glad Hitler's dead. Evil people have no place in my world. He was a hateful human being. It was disgusting, the things that he said and did.
I can guarantee you that she cannot name a single hateful thing that Charlie did or said, but there she is advocating for his murder, likening him to Hitler. And she thinks she's the nice one, the moral one. Doesn't even occur to her that she's just rationalised her own murder by what she said. These people are not just awful, they are dumb. Dumb, dumb, dumb. And talking about awful and dumb, check out this No Kings protester mocking the murder of Charlie Kirk.
Hey! You ever heard of Ozempic, you fat ass?
You know, these protesters are straight from central casting. If they don't have blue hair and a septum ring, they are old lefty boomers with cognitive issues. That's why the right is mocking them. No one is triggered.
So I tell you what, these No Kings 2.0 protests have Republicans and MAGA straight up triggered.
Okay. Here we go. All right, I got you. Got me? Yep, I got you.
And that's why they should be mocked. They mock themselves with these antics. Also worthy of mocking are the dim-witted celebrities who took part in this mass tantrum, including actor John Cusack, or Cusack, whatever his name is.
What is the story of Chicago?
Go to hell.
Is that the message from Chicago?
Yes. What's interesting is that he doesn't understand that all the labor rights around the world came from this town, this place. So if he thinks this place is going to be a fascist hub, no chance.
Embarrassing stuff. And let's have a look at a stage 4 TDS sufferer here, full-time cringe merchant George Conway.
Donald J., how many kids did you start today? Hey, Donald J., how many kids did you start today? Hey, okay, that's it. How many kids? Use these.
If we examine the average age of these No King protesters, I wonder what we'll find. Not much racial diversity there, none at all from what I could see, and it wasn't much better in New York City. These people are a gift to the Trump administration. What normal person watches this and says, sign me up, I want to be a part of this lot? What are they doing? Glorifying Antifa. They're calling their own heroes essentially domestic terrorists, wearing masks outdoors. I mean, it's every stereotype. These democracy deniers make my job way too easy. And let's look at how President Donald Trump responded to this mass tantrum. He treated the No Kings nonsense with the disdain it richly deserves, posting this video of him in a crown in a King Trump fighter jet, poop bombing protesters. We've never had a funnier president, folks, nor a more impactful one, but funny too. And the VP is just as funny. JD Vance went on Blue Sky. That's the social media platform for the echo chamber dwelling lefties. And he posted this. The celebrity class continue to make ass clowns of themselves. It really is an epidemic, and Martin Sheen seems extra keen to elevate himself to the top of the pile with this asinine contribution.
So the big guy in the White House, if he would take some personal advice, you've got to realize, sir, that you are the biggest nothing in the world. And sir, you stop there. You stop listening to all these people around you, these sycophants.
Sycophant, Martin? You mean like this loopy lady beside you, MSNBC anchor Nicole Wallace, be clowning herself, laughing along to your sad little attack? You know, it's clear listening to this rant from Martin Sheen that he should never, ever speak in public without the aid of script writers. He was quite erudite when he was playing the US president in the West Wing, but left to his own devices and meagre brain power, he comes out with this.
Who are encouraging you to be your non-human self. Get in touch with that humanity. Stop fussing with your hair. And don't worry about your tie. And stand up straight and speak clearly, not from your throat. Speak from your heart. And start being human. That's what you were made for, not golf. So there you are, Mr. President. With all due respect, sir.
Listen to Nicole Wallace cackle like some deranged witch there. So Trump is not human and he should stop playing golf. Profound words there from Martin Sheen. No wonder the MSNBC anchor was beside herself with excitement. I mean, imagine how fringe-dwelling left you have become when TDS sufferer Charlemagne is calling you out.
I'll never forget when MSNBC did that to me. MSNBC said I was repeating MAGA messaging. I was like, damn, that means that y'all really are not paying attention to y'all constituents.
Now to another once great of Hollywood who has shown himself to be a seriously unwell individual in need of some professional help. Here is Robert De Niro losing the plot again and calling a proud Jewish man a Nazi, among other things.
He will not. We see it all the time. He will not want to leave. He set it up with his. I guess he's the Goebbels of the cabinet. Stephen Miller. He's a Nazi. Yes, he is, and he's Jewish, and he should be ashamed of himself.
The only one who should be ashamed of himself is you, Robert De Niro, but you are so utterly broken and bitter and so full of hate and bile that you have lost sight of just how deranged you have become. It really is rather sad. Talking about sad, let's check in with actress and alleged comedian Margaret Cho, who had this to say about best-selling author J.K. Rowling.
Shut up, J.K. Rowling. Shut up. You're a joke. That's why your name is J.K., because you are a joke. Your anti-trans rhetoric makes me sick. You are despicable. I hope that when you face menopause, you have to take a lot of gender-affirming care, as I do. And when you're taking these hormones, they make your pubes grow out so thick and hard, it's like steel wool.
Gosh, where does one start there? I think you should keep details of your private issues to yourself, Margaret. Don't think that is a widespread problem. And J.K. Rowling is 60 years old. She probably has already gone through menopause. And good of you to mention menopause. You know who doesn't go through that? Men pretending to be women, because they're still men. Now, just when you think the leftist mainstream media cannot sink any lower, along comes MSNBC. Listen to this vile, vile woman claim that J.D. Vance doesn't really love or protect his own family, his own wife and children.
He is married to a woman of Indian descent.
Yes.
He has mixed race children.
Yes.
So to all of the MAGA voters out there, if this man will not defend his wife and will not defend his kids, do you think he gives a crap about you or anything to do with you?
That was the contemptible Jennifer Welch on the lunatic asylum masquerading as a news network, MSNBC. And Welch, what an awful name that is. Well, she had more to say about race. Listen to this diatribe.
I'm a white woman that has lived in a red state my entire life. And I can tell you, when I'm around white people, they test the racist water. They test it on people like you all the time. And they'll try to say off-color things. I put my hand up. It absolutely happens. And you're fortunate that maybe you haven't experienced it.
And it's time for a CNN trigger warning, because they again had some sobering news for their permanently outraged audience. The Schumer shutdown is not hurting Donald Trump. Take it away, Harry.
In 2018/2019, Donald Trump's net approval rating was already falling. The shutdown was eating into his popular support. It was down 3 points already at this particular point and would fall considerably more. It was very much on the decline. You come over to this side of the screen, this shutdown hasn't eaten into Donald Trump's support at all. His net approval rating is actually up a point in terms of his popular support. So the bottom line is this: the first shutdown during Trump's first term, 2018-2019, was hurting Donald Trump. This one is not hurting him at all.
No, the shutdown is not hurting the president in the polls, and that's because most people don't blame him for the shutdown, despite the best efforts of the media.
Blame Trump for the shutdown a great deal. In 2018/2019, 61%, more than 3 in 5 Americans, blame Trump a great deal for that particular shutdown. You come over to this side of the screen, look at this. It's a different world. It's a different world. 48% of Americans blame Trump a great deal for this particular shutdown. So it's more than 3 in 5 back in 2018/2019. It's less than half, a drop of 13 points. Again, it's no real wonder that Donald Trump at this point, looking at the shutdown, says, you know what, it's not actually harming me politically, in large part because he's getting less of the blame.
Start with The View's Sunny Hostin, and my thoughts and prayers go out to her, because it seems despite her considerable wealth and all the options that affords, Sunny has decided to live in a terribly racist, all-white neighbourhood with racist cops who would harass her son for just jogging.
I have had to be in the position where I have gone to my local police department because I know my son is going to be training for the Junior Olympics, running around the neighborhood in an all-white neighborhood, and I have brought him to the police and said, he belongs to me. This is my son. Do not harass him. Do not stop him.
Now, are Sunny's fears reasonable? Did she really choose to live in a hostile, deeply racist neighbourhood, or is she perhaps a race-obsessed victim playing fantasist? You decide. She does mention white people incessantly, so much so that she blamed racism for Jason Aldean's great song, Try That in a Small Town, doing so well in the charts. I mean, this is super-duper loopy, even by The View standards.
And unfortunately, this became the #1 song on U.S. iTunes. We have a problem in this country about race, and the biggest problem is we refuse to admit that it exists.
Well, don't you think that a lot of this...
And Sunny has a massive chip on her shoulder when it comes to white women in particular. She loves to put down white women.
Meaning white women own slaves as well. I think that women, white women in particular, want to protect this patriarchy here because it's to their benefit.
White women owning slaves? You know who else owns slaves? Sunny's family.
Wow. I'm a little bit in shock. I just always thought of myself as Puerto Rican, you know, half Puerto Rican. I didn't think I was, my family was originally from Spain and slaveholders.
Oh, that was a little bit awkward, wasn't it? Don't you hate it when you get a TV program to do a deep dive into your ancestry and they tell you, a woman obsessed with race, slavery and supposed oppression, that you are the descendant of slave owners, not slaves, slave owners. But let's move on to the most famous and no doubt best paid View co-host, Whoopi Goldberg. And here she is spreading disinformation again, this time about the new White House ballroom.
So Americans, the question is, are you on board with all of this? This is like a cash grab.
Yeah.
And your taxes are probably going to be paying for that
that ballroom.
I mean, it's kind of kooky.
A kooky? No, it's not kooky, Whoopi. What's kooky is straight out lying about taxpayer funds going into that ballroom that Trump and private donors are paying for, which will be owned by the American people. Whoopi and the rest of the View co-hosts are obsessed by this ballroom. They've talked about it endlessly. Hope you're all ready for a really dumb analogy here and a sing-along.
That would be like me going over to Trump Tower and saying I'm going to build a disco. You know, they've wanted a disco in Trump Tower for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, come on, man. You don't own that building. That is the people's building. You don't own it.
Let's finish.
You don't own it. You cannot take it down.
Please stop singing, please. You got something right though, ladies. He doesn't own it, but he is the president, and that means he has the authority to do precisely what he is doing. Now, let's check on another View lady, this time on a CNN panel, being triggered by facts. Watch Ana Navarro's face as the only sane woman at the table spells out the uncomfortable truth.
Got to jump in here because I feel like we're living in the twilight zone. We're talking about that this was a bad week for America First policy. Trump brokered a ceasefire deal in the Middle East. Hamas put down weapons. The hostages were released. And we're not going to talk about that? That is the biggest foreign policy victory.
Oh, she was swallowing hard there, trying to keep that bile down. And talking about bile, let's go to ABC now, where George Stephanopoulos is fact-checked in the most polite manner possible after claiming that turkey prices are through the roof. Well, Walmart CEO John Furner tells him that they are, in fact, at their lowest price since 2019. Who was president back then again? And that their Thanksgiving basket also costs less this year. You can almost see George's little heart breaking here, learning the good news.
And let's talk about Thanksgiving first. Food prices are up, especially turkey. So what are you doing to help customers keep the cost down?
This year, we will have the best prices on this basket we've had since the program started. We're down about 25% from last year, down about $14 for the basket. Our turkey prices, George, are all the way back to what they were in 2019 at 97 cents a pound.
You know, someone who needs to lay off the turkey and the stuffing as well is this next lady, if you can call her that. Guess what? She's a teacher. Why do they always seem to be teachers? Like this creature we showed you earlier in the week. And if you want to know why she was doing that, well, some new footage has come to light. It shows a different angle. And it shows the people she was aiming that at were in a vehicle that had a big Charlie Kirk flag. Now, here is Caitlin Bennett talking to some hideous heifer woman who claims that Charlie Kirk was killed for being bad and that perhaps Caitlin should be murdered too.
Whatever his name was?
Charlie Kirk, ma'am?
Yeah, him is horrible. Horrible.
Charlie Kirk is horrible?
Yes, I'm glad he's not here.
You're glad he's dead?
Yes.
Why would you say something like that, ma'am?
Because he was horrible on the campuses, the college campuses. Horrible person.
You know what? I do the exact same thing.
Well,
would you be glad if I would die?
Maybe. I'd have to think about it.
What, if she would die?
I don't know.
Excuse me?
No, I don't know you, but I didn't know him either. But he was not a good person.
He would go to college campuses.
And he would go to think he got shot because he wasn't a good person.
There you go. Only bad people are murdered in cold blood. I mean, trust the left to make an art form out of victim blaming and just being indecent, vicious miscreants. And on top of that, they're classic cry bullies. They behave terribly and then they play the victim. Watch that hideous heifer woman play the victim because the woman whose murder she just advocated dared to point her finger at her.
Was promoting was horrible.
What was he promoting?
Right. Yeah, I'm done with you.
What was he promoting, ma'am?
Be done with her. She's pointing her finger in your face. And
yes, you're a horrible person yourself. And point your finger in my face and coming to this peaceful demonstration. Why would you? And put it in my face.
Yeah, can't you just feel how peaceful and tolerant and loving they all are? You know what? We're probably going to get some complaints about fat shaming, but what type of fat shaming? Because there are different types of fat. Are you small fat or super fat? What's your fat privilege?
I have a question. Can you tell me what category of fat I fit in? So it's based on your shirt size. If you are a 1 or 2X, you are small fat. 3 to 4X, you are mid fat. 5 to 6X, you are super fat, is based on what level of privilege you have in the world. So someone in a small fat category may not struggle getting on an airplane, but someone in a mid fat or super fat may not be able to use even the airplane extender. So that's where that comes in and like the privilege levels of like what fat means to different people.
Now let's go back to the protests and check the work of this young man. He went around and asked these delulu fools about human rights. Do they really respect the human rights of all?
Human rights, what do you think about them?
We're in favor of them.
For everybody?
Yes.
How about the unborn? Do you support human rights?
Yes, of course.
For everybody?
Yes, of course.
Even people in the womb?
Well...
Thoughts on human rights?
That's what we're here for.
For everybody, right?
Yes.
Including the unborn?
No.
Everyone has autonomy to not be killed, I think.
Freedom means choice. You have no argument. Stop taking rights away. Get out of here.
Nice work there. And you know what? These protesters aren't all violent, murder-loving monsters. Some of them are just stupid.
Standing with all the cities that are under attack from the misinformation.
All right. Portland. Because those dinosaurs want to change, man.
I am protesting. I'm with the No Kings protesters
to make sure that the world knows that not all of us are stupid.
I am protesting this sexist, homophobic, genocidal.
And while we're focusing on stupid, let's hear from former first son and presidential pardon recipient Hunter Biden, who sees something sinister and dangerous about Trump and mocking these ridiculous protests.
So when I see the President of the United States create an AI video wearing a crown and dumping excrement on the heads of American peaceful protesters and, TikTok stars like Harry, I see him basically painting a bullseye.
Wow.
Painting a bullseye on somebody like that.
I hadn't thought of it that way, but.
Yeah, you hadn't thought of it because it's insane. The political violence is coming from the left. As for Hunter claiming that Trump is painting a bullseye on protesters and TikTok stars, as he calls that beta boy, well, remember what your father actually said?
You called your opponent an existential threat on a call a week ago. You said it's time to put Trump in the bullseye. There's some dispute about the context, but I think you appreciate that.
I didn't say crosshairs. I was talking about focus on. Look, the truth of the matter was, what I guess I was talking about at the time was there was very little focus on Trump's agenda.
Yeah, the term is bullseye.
It was a mistake to use the word. I didn't say crosshairs. I meant bullseye. I meant focus on him. Focus on what he's doing.
And let's end with a lefty losing it when he sees a Trump costume and goes nuts. I have to ask again, what is it with the left and violence?
Yo, really? You're gonna attack somebody in a costume? You